I remember the first time when we spoke, I think you'd done quite a lot of prep, I believe, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, the major concern then was I had exhausted most of my resources, I felt.
I'm not the one who essentially is a lot into marketing and advertising, right?
Correct.
I'm essentially just trying to deliver results and let the results do the talking for themselves. My only concern is to refine the course as much as possible so that right now it's 5 weeks long. See if in case, even if I don't reduce the duration, I can make it more impactful, right? So people can actually get to a much better score. Given that you already had some journey before you joined the coaching, I would really love to know, like, what was the difference? What did you find exceptional about the course? What did you not find so good that we can work on?
I wouldn't say that I felt off anywhere in this whole time. The first thing that comes to mind is the nuances I'm talking about. While giving today the exam as well, I could figure out that this wasn't with the case with me before. When I was appearing mostly not the SC but the critical listening and the reading comprehension, those matter. That stood out for me completely.
You were working the entire time while the class was
Yes. That was so last year the work that I was working on, the projects that I was working on, it was fairly comfortable for me.
Okay.
This time around, the work was very exhausting. Like it gets over at 8, get class at 8, finish it, have a little bit of food, have a little bit of me time, and then again get back to preparation late at night. The first time that I got in touch with you, there I had gotten a 660, if you remember. I was very skeptical of how to be able to pull up because the work was getting really, really hectic for me. But somehow things worked out well. And there's one more thing that you have brought up in the video that I completely agree with. Make sure that you do not skip 2 days of preparation. You can take 1 day break, but make sure that you do not skip 2 days, because then you would get out of touch, and then getting back into the zone would take a little bit more effort. So, yeah, even I resonated with that thought of yours.
I am trying to, as I said, refine the course for working professionals, right? People who are on a sabbatical, they don't have any other distractions, so they can actually get this done within a shorter span of time. But people who have demanding job, just as you, they need an anchor in life that holds them in place when it comes to GMAT. So I wanted to know, like, was it too overwhelming for you, too intensive for you at any point where you felt that, okay, I need to ratchet it down a little bit, or was it something that was manageable?
No. I mean, although I had prepared before coming to you, right? But still, I would say that people who would start off with you, right? This is the actual push. So the transition from, if anyone has not started preparing, right? The initial preparation would be a sudden jerk for them. I'll have to say, because they have been completely out of touch, right? So I don't think that it was overwhelming. And if it feels a little bit overwhelming at the first, I would say that it's fine, because you would need a little bit of time to get back in the groove. So I didn't mind that at all. And also the weekend marathon practice sessions, right? I mean, I have been to a couple of sessions.
I'm glad that you found them useful. That's something that I personally have just been experimenting with. You realize, like, nobody else is offering something like this. So I'm just trying to basically make sure that I can refine it and make it as better as I can for students like you who are devoted to getting a high score. I even feel that when people actually come to me after having put in some thought, then, you know, when I tell them a way to break through that particular rut that they're in, they're able to appreciate it more. Right, because they've kind of done something for so long and did not work out. I think, see, overall, getting a 50-40 is as balanced as it gets in terms of score.
Yeah. That was my initial target. So I can say that V40 is a proverbial target that each student looks for, right? Quant, yes, I can't take anything away from the people who are good at quant, but then again, comparatively for people who are in India, right, and who are quite strong in basic mathematics and all, for them V40 is a little more difficult and a lot more dualism. I was hoping that, and I got that.
A lot of times people actually end up judging the level of the question, and then they get demotivated or pumped up depending on how difficult or easy the question is. Not to let the adaptive nature of the exam play on their mind and think of it as a linear exam. So I think that's a profound insight. And I was having a discussion with a student, Salil. He has his exam tomorrow, by the way. And that's the exact same thing that I told him. I said, there are some experimental questions that come up, right? There are some questions that are not even graded, and they can be of any level. They can be extremely hard or extremely easy. So you're not supposed to get flustered by that. And I'm glad that you're able to hold yourself through this, rock and roll of a journey that the GMAT is. So having that composure is very important. So otherwise people essentially lose it. Like, you might have a lingering thought, you might have a nagging thought in the back of your head that you might have screwed up, but not letting it take over you, That's
Yeah. I mean, you just need to get a grip on yourself because the time is running, right?
No, great, yeah, Sanjog. It was lovely catching up with you, and I'm super happy that you were finally able to ace a 7:30.